We are back in the Valley, a Black Woman's Guide Through Life's Dilemmas by Iyanla Vanzant. Today, I would like to explore Chapter 6, the Valley of O.P.P., which is other people's problems, perspectives, and purposes. I had to realize that I had this addiction, this hobby that I wasn't aware of, but I needed to bring to the forefront, and it was just popping up a lot. And this chapter brought it to my face. It was like, hey, this is what it is. Iyanla says many Black women seem to be addicted to helping and saving others. That's something we know. We heard this before, but are we listening? This is something we heard before. This is something we've overheard before. This is something we said to other people before. But are we listening? I know it was taking me a long time to realize this. And I'm still cutting ties to other people's problems, other people's perspectives, other people's purposes, and realizing my own. This chapter goes into depth. I love this book because it also has experiences. So it's like you can mind other people's business and see the mistakes that they made. And it's so funny because it's a lot of mistakes that we make. And while we're reading it, we're like, dummy, why are you making that decision? But yet, we're not taking responsibility and saying it sounds like me. Anyway. Iyanla says, in the Valley of O.P.P. are the experiences we have when we fail to develop and honor our inner authority, the authority which gives us the strength to stand on our own. Each time we give our lives over to the issues, priorities, and problems of other people, we dishonor our inner authority. I like this explanation because it was one of those profound sentences where you have to reread it to understand, to make sure you understand. Each time we give our lives over to the issues, priorities, and problems of other people, we dishonor our inner authority. Now, this resonated with me because it reminded me of something that I did that dishonored my inner authority. And it made a snowball effect that I didn't even know stemmed from that. So, for example, I am a writer. And most of the things that I write are my emotions. Everything I'm feeling, I write it down. I used to write. I remember I was in a period where I was just writing every single day. I was doing very well. I was so proud of myself. Even though I write, it's just I don't write just oh, today I was doing this, da 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 da. No, I write kind of like a poetry type. I didn't know what kind of genre it was before, but I do now. But I would write, and when I got into a relationship, and it was a really serious relationship, and it was, things were moving so fast, and it was so real, and it was so it was beautiful, but it was scary all at the same time. And prior to the relationship, I was every day writing. So now when I got in the relationship and things are happening so fast and so lovely and so happy, but so scary at the same time, I'm writing. So now my space is I'm sharing my space with the person I was with. And he would see my notebooks and see how much I was writing. I guess he was curious, and he would read it. And it would cause a lot of rifts in our relationship. It would cause fights because it was I guess my writing was more of unsureness. And I guess I'm human. Now I tell myself wow, at least I could express those feelings that I was feeling at that time, when it's hard to express those feelings, but I was expressing them so I can move past them. That was my way of coping and going through the situation anyway. So since that situation kept happening often, my reaction to it was fine. So we can stop fighting. I'm gonna stop writing. But this was also like a you know what, fine. You're gonna keep reading my things. I'm not writing. And it's like, this is for us to get better, I guess. This was like a one kind of thing. Also, it was like a, hey, you know what? You see, like this, this is something I love. Like I'm not gonna do it, and it's gonna be a punishment towards you. Like you're gonna see, like you're gonna feel bad. I'm gonna make you feel bad because I'm not gonna write. Over time, I stopped writing. And we just forgot that I was a writer. And it was like a nothing kind of thing. So I resonated with that. I was like, wow, I lost my hobby. I gave it up. While he was still doing things and was creative in his ways, So I stopped writing to save a relationship. And we did last a while after that, but eventually we didn't work out. Anyway, when I self-reflected on this situation of me stop writing, because of course I had to get back to it, like I had to get back to my writing. I wanted to write, and I had the urges to write, and I got back to writing, but I had to, reflect, especially when reading this chapter. And I had to think, like, what caused the issues between us? What was so wrong with me writing my feelings down? I was never writing anything bad about him. I was just writing about my own fears. Why was he even going through my work? I don't think I would read somebody's books like that, like it was their post on social media. I didn't have social media at that time. So it's not like I was writing in notebooks and on social media, like doing or like being suspect. Anyway, I had to realize that wasn't my problem. That was a him issue. But I try to solve that issue for us by stop writing. And it made me, lose my hobby. When you allow someone else to make the decisions in your life, or you run on others' opinions and perspectives, you are always looking for them to validate your next moves, your next steps. Iyanla says, when we do not believe we have the authority to choose for ourselves, or have been trained to believe that someone else knows better than we what is good for us, we lose sight of and touch with our mental and spiritual authority. That means, just like when they say, when you stop using that certain muscle, it's not going to work good for you. So if you continue all the years of your life, you're just running on what other people saying, looking at since they're having this problem, you're like putting what you think on the back burner, and you just keep escaping your inner self and your intuition. That person's going to hide from you. That you is going to be someone else. So you're not going to recognize it. And you're not going to know how to communicate with it, because there's so many other people that it's not you anymore. Iyanla says, we cannot identify what we want from what others have told us to want. Our perspectives on life is not our own, and the purposes of others motivate our behavior. You have the power, authority, and most of all, the right to create your own reality. That is our right. And with the human experience, it's our job to navigate the emotions that we have and see the things that we do and the valleys that we fall into. And I feel like other people's problem, it's one of those problems that we have to get in front of early on in the journey, because if not, this is one that can hinder us. And this is one that is like our kryptonite, because we love our people. We love this. This is, we think, our purpose, because this is what they taught us as our purpose. So imagine ripping somebody's purposes. It's like just taking somebody's religion away that they practice all their life, telling them that, no, this is not real, or no, the world is, people are going to go crazy. So you're going to go crazy. So the first step, I feel like, for us is to approach this face to face. There was a syndrome that Iyanla addressed in the Valley of O.P.P. And she says, someone asked me about the sometimes obvious martyrdom syndrome, a special kind of O.P.P that operates among Black women. This woman, a a white woman, explained how several black women she knew seemed to be burdened down by taking care of and doing for others the very things some people should be doing for themselves. I had never thought about it. As a black woman, I accept that there are simply certain things you must do, are expected to do, as a function of your identity. The woman asked, what if you do not want to do it? What if it causes disruption in your life or takes you off your course? Her point was that many of the black women she knew seemed to get stuck doing for others, often to their own detriment. Based on her personal observations, her assessment was that black women more often than not allowed family and friends to emotionally blackmail them into doing what they should do for themselves, but were too irresponsible to do. I was beginning to get upset with this woman, but I was also listening. I love when she said that, because I had to listen to that too. Because I'm like, there's a lot that I have to relearn. This just was more confirmation that there's things that I had to relearn. Just hearing that there is names for it, there's titles, there's syndromes, made me think like, am I being a superhero? Or am I just, trying to be in the 3D like I am the superhero, like I have a cape, but not excelling myself? Because I'm just trying to wear a cape that says O.P.P. Give me your problems. I'll make them better. And that's how I am. Every time somebody tries to talk to me, I want to be like, I try to solve their problem. And I'm learning that they don't want their problem solved. They just want to vent. They just want to talk. They just want to, someone to be like, or to hear themselves talk so they can learn. And I feel like that's what I'm doing in this YouTube. When I talk out loud and I express and I'm learning from it. So I feel like that's what other people do. They're like, they catch realizations. Their intuition does come out because they're, talking. They're being able to vent themselves and talk and, express themselves in ways that they're not usually able to express. So when they're just throwing it out there, so they get all this information out and then it bogs you down. And, sometimes people, like, when they seem like they're just saying sad thing after sad thing, horrible thing after horrible thing, and they're just like, damn, my life sucks. They feel like that's probably what their mind is thinking in their head. Then they try to rag on you so you can kind of be on their level, or you have to, like, trauma bond with them. So you're just, like, talking about sad things too, because you don't want to talk about a happy thing because they just talked about a whole bunch of sad things. And then after this whole conversation and all of this, because you're trying to be there for people and be free therapist, you are depressed for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, off your course, don't know what to do, don't know where to start, don't know why you're feeling this way. Other people's problems. This valley is a lesson into learning how to be an individual. We need people, so I'm not saying no community, but be able to be an individual. Know that you have problems, you have purpose, you have perspective. This person has theirs, this person has theirs, but right now I have to get mine in order. So I have to scratch theirs. So in part 1 of the Valley of O.P.P, we have to see that, hey, there's an issue. Now, I have to scratch this issue. I have to come face to face with it and learn that person's problem is not my problem. No, I cannot answer this text message at 8 o'clock because you know what? This is my wind down time. No, I cannot answer this text message at 8 a.m. because this is my introduction into the morning, introduction into my day, and I'm supposed to be thinking great thoughts. No, I'm about to eat. No, I can't answer this phone call because I know I'm going to drag on. Oh, I just opened this book and I got this text message. No. You're kindly giving others their stuff back. You could put it in a big box if you like. You can make it look nice. You could put it in a bag, in a Ziploc bag. You could fold it, whatever you like to do. But give it back. And it's time to think about you.